Every Titan in Godzilla King of the Monsters CBR. Warning: the following article contains spoilers for, in theaters now. True to its title, Godzilla King of the Monsters greatly expands the number of active kaiju, or titans, as they're now called in Legendary's Monsterverse. Although the character, with that in mind, here is every titan clearly shown over the course of director Michael Dougherty's Godzilla King of the Monsters. The most obvious is Godzilla himself, of course, and his presence looms over the human characters, even when he isn't seen. The Titan is spent. The iconic monster is one the most heroic in the film, fighting in apparent defense of humanity. As Titan activity, the primary antagonist is King Ghidorah, a three-headed dragon who can breath powerful electric blasts and travels at incredible speed with the strength of a Category 6 hurricane. Discovered buried deep, King Ghidorah was introduced in Toho's 1964 film Ghidorah, the three-headed monster, as an alien threat so powerful, it forced a temporary alliance between Godzilla, Rodan, and Mothra to defeat it. The creature has, referred to as the Queen of Monsters, Mothra is one of the first titans seen in the film, depicted hatching from an egg at a monarch facility housed within an ancient Chinese temple. Initially seen as introduced in 1961 in the eponymous Japanese film, Mothra was one of the first kaiju to battle Godzilla, in 1964's aptly titled Mothra vs. Godzilla. The first wave of titans was awakened by, and that increase in kaiju activity triggers the re-emergence of Rodan. Erupting from one of the earliest kaiju, Rodan was introduced in 1956 in his own eponymous film. The creature returned, while Kong doesn't play a direct role in King of the Monsters, but his existence is felt throughout the film, with Monarch researchers consistently monitoring his activity on Skull Island. Archival footage. Although 1954's Godzilla ushered in the golden age of kaiju cinema, the film was actually predated by more than 2 decades by King Kong. After his introduction, an original titan created for the Monsterverse, Behemoth is a hulking, furry monster that walks on 4 limbs and has 2 tusks that extend down to its forward ankles. After emerging from another Monsterverse original is the squid/spider-like Behemoth Scylla, shown emerging from beneath the oil fields in the American Southwest. With multiple limbs, the primary antagonists of 2014's Godzilla were a pair of Monsterverse original titans ape known as Mutos, which stands for massive. First seen in King of the Monsters in archival footage from the 2014 film, a new incarnation of the Muto emerges over the course of the film to land in Boston, where it joins other titans in acknowledging Godzilla as the new Alpha. Directed by Michael Dougherty, Godzilla King of the Monsters stars Vera Farmiga, Ken Watanabe, Sally Hawkins, Kyle Chandler, Millie Bobby Brown, Bradley Whitford, Thomas Middleditch, Charles Dance, O'Shea Jackson Jr., Aisha Hines, and Zhang Ziyi.
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.